So now in this episode, we're going to explore how, our unconscious, we all have an unconscious, is constantly involved in every decision we make. And we can't help it. It's like its participation is unsolicited. We don't ask it to work. We don't even know, we can't like the reason we term it the unconscious is because we're not conscious of it. It works, and we've determined that we have one through various means, some of which I'll go into later in the program. But the idea is that this unconscious never sleeps. It's always active. It retains all our memories, um, what we've learned, just all our thoughts, our experiences are retained in various neural networks, and and so like it is taking part in every decision we make. And before I get more into that, I want to just describe how, because it takes part in every decision, that would make free will impossible. And the idea is like in science, in reason, there's this idea of causality that nothing is uncaused. There's always, if something happens, there's a reason why it happens. There's a cause or causes for it to happen. And then there's this principle within science and philosophy of a necessary and sufficient cause. For example, okay, if I want to lift the table in front of me, I might like grab it with my right hand and lift it. Okay, so then the cause of that the table rising would be, my right hand lifting it, my right arm. But let's say I'm reaching for it with my right arm, but I'm also reaching for it with my left, and I lift it up with both arms and both hands. Okay, in that case, I can no longer say that the right hand was the sufficient and necessary cause of it, because the left hand was involved in the lifting. So it's actually a combination of these two causes, that results in the table lifting. All right, so now apply this to our unconscious. Let's say my right arm and hand is our conscious mind. So it decides, well, I'm going to decide to lift this table, okay? But our left arm and hand is our unconscious. And again, we're not aware of it, but it's always active. It takes part in our every decision. And again, I'll get into it later. And even if it weren't taking part in every single decision, we could never know, with any degree of certainty whether it was participating in our decision or not. So what happens is like we have this unsolicited, unconscious participation, and so like if my conscious mind goes to lift the table and my unconscious mind is saying, well, wait a minute, I'm going to like take part in this. I want to I'm going to take part in the decision to lift the table. Or in some cases, it could be that like, actually, we're going to do a show about this. In some cases, our conscious mind believes that it is making a decision to lift the table, whether with the right or left hand, or whatever, but it's actually the unconscious mind that's making that decision. But the principle here is that if 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 the conscious mind and the unconscious are involved in the decision to lift the table and the lifting of the table, then we can no longer say that the decision was free, was freely consciously made. Okay, was free of the participation in this case of the unconscious. Okay, and so that's the principle at play here. And again, our unconscious never sleeps.